All right, we're going to get started. I got two speakers tonight, plus the 101, plus a mini CTF. We good? I'm going to keep going then. So welcome to SecDSM. SecDSM is every third Thursday of the month here at The Forge by Pillar. Our mission, provide a free, vendor-neutral forum for the expansion and dissemination of industry knowledge, extend the culture of security awareness, enable our members to make informed and educated security decisions. Tonight's agenda, we made a little bit of a switch here. We're going to do the 101 first, and we're going to break the 101 in two parts. The 101 is super important to all of us, but if it goes 15, 20 minutes, we feel like we're not giving the content soon enough. We're going to break into two parts. So 101 part one, then we're going to talk with the government here. Jeff Franklin, Jim Cooper talking about vulnerability management and election security. I care a lot about that, so I want to hear and support any of the work you're doing. We'll do a quick break after that, and then SecDSM 101 Part 2, and then at 7:20, Mark is going to tell us about a persistent encrypted USB drive. 8:30, no more beer. So beer that's provided by Pillar is no longer available after 8:30. 9 o'clock, CTF winners are announced, and then we leave, because at 9:01 we have to be out of here. There's security on site that'll help us with that. And then the after party is at Americana, not the Gas Lamp. At Gas Lamp, there is an act that's really super loud. It'd be like really hard to talk there. Disclaimer, SecDSM exists as an educational entity. We do not condone any sort of illegal activity utilizing anything you might learn here at SecDSM. We have a security assistant tonight helping us all have a great time, which is important. We also actively seek to engage law enforcement. We like badge carriers a lot. Within our community, there is always invited, and some months they show up to our meetings. We really appreciate that. There's a code of conduct SecDSM lives by. It's posted at that URL. You'll find it on our website. We have to make this a harassment-free environment. It's defined, it's in our policy, and it applies to our members and our sponsors and vendors. Everyone applies to that. Please report anything you see, talk to the board, we'll take action, including warning or expulsion from SecDSM. This has not been a problem, and we hope to continue to keep it not a problem. You can Slack anyone directly in person or email admins@secdsm.org. We'd be happy to talk to you about it. At SecDSM, we like to challenge ideas, not people. We may have debate here about how technologies work, how it's implemented. For example, ask me about DLP, and I'll tell you I think it's a terrible control. I want to debate DLP, network DLP. I think it's terrible. But I hope you don't do that to me as a person. Like, you want to hear my views why I think it's bad to break TLS. We'll talk about it. SecKC lives by this, we do it too. Said another way, go after the ball, not the person. We also want to talk about imposter syndrome quickly. I always think I'm not up to par. I'm always trying to get better at my job because there are others who are a lot better than I, and I want to learn from them. That's called imposter syndrome, and it's very real in InfoSec. So everyone here is skilled or accomplished at something. Everyone has something to offer one another. That's why we're here. If you have difficulty believing in that, feel like you may have faked your way, feel like you're a fraud, you're not. You're here to learn, and that's one step to make everyone better. So talk to me about that, or anyone else, because that's important that we all try and be conscious of imposter syndrome. We're all here to get better. House rules, clean up your dishes and put them in the kitchen. We want to make sure the dishes are cleaned up, not necessarily by Pillar staff, but by us. We have to keep this place clean. It's beautiful. Let's make sure it stays beautiful. Please don't loiter in the kitchen. Our assistants here at Pillar are trying to help us keep things clean. They're moving pizza boxes. They're active. So don't loiter in the kitchen. Stay on linoleum if all possible. Linoleum or this wood, of course. Pillar runs a company, and the workstations and things in the back are really not for us, that's for them. So please stay out of that area or on the linoleum. Stay out of the freeze. I don't know what that means, but stay out of the freeze. I mean it. Obey all instructions from James from Pillar or any Pillar employee. So if they have directions, changes, things they want you to do, please listen to them. We're their guests. Be excellent to each other. And due to noise level, we'll close the doors to the main speaker room. So after a short break, and then our friends from the state come, we will close those doors to make sure that they have a good audience. And when we're talking outside, it doesn't carry over, which it usually does. By the way, we're PG-13. That means about one F-bomb per SecDSM. I will not use it. But we want to keep it relatively clean, maybe even teenager, kid-friendly. So we do try and watch the language, PG-13. Something bothering you, you have an idea. Can we do stuff better? Let the board know. I already covered the code of conduct, but please email the board. We'd be happy to take input and make SecDSM even better. We got a lot of plans. Board elections are next month. We're postponing them. We've had 4 people apply to join the board, which is awesome. We want to grow the board by 3. We'll do elections next month. Why? Half the board's not here, and 2 of the 4 who applied also couldn't make it tonight. We think that's unfair. We think they should be here. We'll do that next month. So I apologize for letting you down, but next month is a better way to do it. It'll be cool. We'll use paper ballots. Hope that's okay. We'll collect them. We did do interviews, and it was really cool to see the 4 that have applied interview and meet with us off-site and discuss how we can all make SecDSM better. It's a very active board. We do a lot of stuff, and we look to grow it with people who are equally as engaged. So that's really cool. Speaking of helping out, you don't have to be on the board to do so. The number one way you can help SecDSM is by speaking or finding people to speak here. If we don't have speakers, that means someone from the board steps up, like me or someone else. And we're not the best speakers. We can do it, but we want others to speak from the community. So the number one way you can help, if you're like, what do I do to give back? Help find speakers, help attract speakers. It's a constant thing we're doing to make sure we draw people here who are really cool speakers and want our community to be active. We do like sponsors and donations. We're working on that as well. See us if you have any ideas on that or if you want to sponsor or donate. Transparency report, and Aaron, I'm going to call you up in a little bit. The space and the beer and the security is provided by Pillar Technology, now part of Accenture Industry X. This place is beautiful. They're very good to us. Please be thankful to Pillar. If you see James or from Pillar, give them a thanks. We really appreciate their work. Our sponsor tonight's Pro Circular. Anyone from Pro Circular, raise your hand. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a sponsor. Really appreciate it. I think you have a table set up right outside. Please step by, talk to them. They do security for a living. We do security for a living. Probably have some stuff to talk about that's in common. So please make sure you do that. We really appreciate your sponsorship. Thank you very much. We'll talk more about that later. Financial transparency. I'm going to turn it over to Aaron, who is the treasurer of SecDSM, to talk about money in, money out.
Cool. I'm not going to do the Britney Spears thing.
You don't want to do the Britney Spears thing?
I'll hold it. We're good. This shouldn't. Oh, so how's it going? So between last meeting and this meeting, cash in, cash out, we had about $1,545.88 out the door. And if anybody wants the details on all the transactions, I'm more than happy to go through them. It was a combination of food for the last meeting. We made a donation of $500 to the OISF, which is another great security organization.
They sponsored our very first meeting.
And they actually, and that I didn't know.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, they sponsored our very first meeting, so we're kind of paying it back and forward, if you will, so helping them out a little bit. And then if you see the hoodies, we've bought some merchandise over at the merch table with Mr. Matt White. So we bought a couple, so we've moved our merch out to Teespring so you can order. And just to get kind of a sampling of it here so you can see what it looks like, I bought a blue one because my wife says all I own are black hoodies and t-shirts, so I now have blue. She wasn't impressed with that, by the way. So we have a sampling of merch. We spent some money on that. And then we had $750.50 cash in, which was another sponsor, which is great. And thanks to Pro Circular. Thanks, Ben.
Cool. Thank you. Almost done. There's a mini SecDSM CTF tonight. That's the URL, secdsm.org, mini CTF, secdsm.org/oct_scary_CTF. Can someone post that in general as well? I'd appreciate that. There's a challenge. When you go to that page, the challenge details will be there. And then you got to do the stuff. First person to DM the author, Nick Losby, with the flag wins. And there's a bonus flag in there somewhere. If you get that bonus flag and you submit that, then you get the bonus prize. It might be from our box of prizes that's sitting over there. By the way, I'm from Wisconsin originally. If I say flag, it's because I'm from northern Wisconsin. I mean it. Ask me to say sorry. That's the accent coming out. All right, end of part 1. We're going to do about a 5, maybe 10-minute break, so get some more beer or water or whatever, and pizza. Plus the desserts, super good. They're like little mini scotcheroos. Crush those things. They're really good. We'll do a little break, and then we'll have Jeff and Jim come up, talk about securing the government, vulnerability management, and election security. See you in about 5 or 10. Thanks.